Gospel Life News. My name is Daki, and I'm so happy to be in your faces again. Yesterday we all thought that Asaba was going to be red and hot because it was going to be a Magic Panic versus Davido, but apparently it looked as though one person was just making noise because obviously Davido went there, had an amazing tour experience, and there was no glitch whatsoever. Even after a comment made by Monte Pinnick where he said Davido was going to be cancelled at the time in Delta State, where he was not going to be performing in the state or something, but then he went there for the Timeless Tour. As a matter of fact, he began the Nigerian Timeless Tour in Asaba, and there was no glitch whatsoever from either opposition or mechanical issues. So it just means that obviously one person was just blabbing at the time. But all of this I'll bring them to you in a bit. My name is Daki. Welcome again to Gospel Life. We want to say a big thank you to our fans out there for doing what you do. We love you guys so much. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for what you do. We appreciate you guys so much. You can now stream us live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Please come through because we are waiting for you in those spaces. Let's see what the news look like. We'll begin with Davido. We saw Davido announcing yesterday that he was going to, apparently the Island Block Party team came out to announce their headline for the party this December. And obviously, Davido is set to be the headliner of that party happening on the 26th day of December. Davido is going to be there, turn off the space to make sure that everybody on the island for the block party enjoy themselves. Now, for the mainland block party, who are they going to be headlining for that one? Moving on, we saw Davido and the team, the crew, arriving at Asaba in their private jet yesterday. Obviously, the convoy were complete. Juju was there, Cubana Chief Priest was there. All the team members were present at Asaba at the time to deliver a classic timeless tour. And then we saw just after they got left the jet, they went straight up to the government house to go pay a visit to the governor of Delta State and His Excellency Sheriff at the time. And it was amazing to see that he was received with a big arm at the time, and they had conversations. Davido was allowed to speak to address people, and that was a way of saying, you know what, I've watered the ground. I can do whatever I want to do in this state. After I left there, we saw where he went straight to his hotel room, got changed, and got set for the Timeless Tour, which Juju at the time also opened the space or the tour for Davido. Recall that at the O2 Arena, Juju was the one who came out, talking about Israel, came out to open the arena for Davido to comfort. But this time he did the same thing, ushered in Davido, and then we saw where he got there with his phone, taking pictures, and then was overwhelmed with the love and support he received at the time. Obviously, the next person after Israel was Davido, and then we saw where he got there dressed in a jean shorts, obviously in a comfortable attire, and then when they giving them a timeless tour. Apparently, the Warrior guys came out, the Asaba boys came out in numbers. You could see them spraying money everywhere, throwing money. At the point they went for like 15 minutes non-stop. Money was everywhere, throwing money on the web. It was horrible. And then we see the video trying to shit for money and all of that. These guys showed that yes, we are Warrior guys, we are Asaba boys, and then we have big weight when it comes to finances at the time. We saw Davido just while performing. We saw where he brought out a lady who came with a bouquet of flowers to give to Davido because she loved him at the time. Davido brought her on stage, up there, and she was crying. She couldn't contain her joy, and Davido received the flower from her, made her go back to where she was coming from, and obviously continued his performance. We saw Davido bringing out Lagos Olori at Asaba, where obviously he came out singing the songs. The one he had with Davido and then his individual song at the time. Davido never ceased to support his artists. At the same time, he also brought out Moravi, the amazing lady who obviously taken us by storm with her new EP, Ravi Again, and she came out delivering masterpiece for what she has done with Davido and obviously off her EP, Magician and the like. Recall that on Friday, the video for Magician is set to be out. Davido and Moravi went really hard on that video. Moving on, we saw Davido Timeless became the only African album on the Billboard staff list for the top 50 album for the year 2023. They had a long list to say about it, but then they came out to say, before all the accolades, the Grammy nomination, the Edis Award, the festival slots, and the international tours, there was the music and what Davido achieved. On Timeless truly live up to his acclaim, whether it is joyous love song like in the Garden with Moravi, Amapiano duet like Ashake, No Competition, driving dance hits like Kante with Fave, or I Life Odis to Luxury like Namoni with Cavemen, not to mention the crown jewel of the project, Mr. K's collab, Unavailable. Davido delivers one of the best body of work from the past year and certainly the best of his career. Simply put, Timeless in the triumph and a landmark album in the global exposition of Afrobeat. This is what the Billboard team had to say regarding Davido's timeless album. Moving on, we have Rema as the next guy on the news. We saw Rema and Fexo Bobale on iTunes, 17 in Spain, 35 in Bolivia, and 115 in Italy. Like that's not enough. We saw Fexo and Rema Bobalo made the debut on Bolivia iTunes songs at number 38. Bobalo is now charting in 23 countries on iTunes. At the same time, we saw Fexo and Rema Bobalo debut, like I said, on the Bolivia chart, and is currently charting in about 23 countries. Moving on, we saw Rema Calm Down music video on YouTube. I've just surpassed 555. That's 555 million views on YouTube. For some fanatics, they want to call that a slang, but then it's just figures that will change in a minute from now. Moving on, we have OdumoduBlvck as the next guy on the news, the only one who type in cap locks, and obviously we know that when you type in cap locks, it means you're shouting. So basically, Odumodu is always shouting on Twitter. We saw where he came out to say, this message cannot be grasped by everyone. That is why they say a word is enough for the wise, and he who has ears, let them hear. Eziokwu life is tomorrow. Tomorrow my city will give me back in 100-fold what I invested in it. And in return, I will repay them with a wonderful experience in Jesus' mighty name. APJ, stand up, ticket link, and all of that. So basically, Odumodu is having an experience in Abuja, and then he's saying the city will pay him back what he has invested in it, and because he has invested so much, and in return, he was going to repay them with a wonderful experience. We are looking forward to see what that one will look like in Abuja. Moving on, we saw OdumoduBlvck coming out to lash out at Xavi Hernandez, the Barcelona head coach. And then in his words, he said, "Never believed in Xavi from when he started starting Gavi at the San Siro as opposed to Kessie. When you see backup play, you see endless chickens. Only good thing was poor defense last season. Even if you lose at least entertain me. Pep has to come back." So he's saying he wants Pep Guardiola to come back to Barcelona. The big question is, will Odumodu hold water enough for Barcelona to consider what he has said? Moving on, we saw for the top album in Nigeria this week, OdumoduBlvck leads the chart as number 1 with about 9.8 million. Plutomania with Charlie Poppin number 2 with 9.2 million. Ashake number 3 with 4.9 million. Burna Boy number 4 with 4 million. Mobad number 5 with 3.7 million. Rema number 6 with 2.8 million. Benton number 7 with 2.6 million. Davido number 8 with 2.49 million. Flavor number 9 with 2.44 million. And Kiss Daniel number 10 with 2.2 million. And while on Spotify for the best of global hip hop, we have So Greater as number 1, and then Odeklan Rice coming on number 2 with OdumoduBlvck. Dave as number 3 with the song Sprinter, which featured Central C. We saw Crayon coming out to give insight on what his growing up looked like, and then he said his mom at the time used to sell fruit in the Yanova for 19 straight years before he blew up and all of that. And all of this conversation, I would just want to encourage everyone that if he can do it, you also can do it. Moving on, we saw Burna Boy team after failing Nigerians yesterday, as opposed to when they're supposed to drop the video for Giza. They've come out to announce that we're sorry about that, but then the video will be dropped tomorrow by 3 p.m. West African time. We'll not fulfill this one again. Let's wait and see if they will drop it or not. And finally, we saw Wizkid after a long break going back to what he loved doing the best, because it has been announced that Wizkid is set to headline at the biggest regional festival of the Middle East, which is called the Sandstorm in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia for today, and is set to perform about 12:30 a.m. The Wizkid and his team already should be Saudi Arabia ready to have rehearsals and at the same time make preparation for a massive comeback after his mom passed. We saw when the mom passed, he postponed and cancelled all appointments that has to do with singing and music, but then Wizkid is looking like he's finding his feet back and is going back again to perform in the land of money, Saudi Arabia, for his first performance after losing his mom. He's set to be on stage from 12:30 a.m. Let's see what he's going to do at the Sandstorm Festival in Saudi Arabia. My name is Daki. We'll catch you guys on the very, very next one. Please stay safe, guys, and be careful.